exactly, but thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all. I'll give you a quick introduction and background on myself, and then I can speak a little bit more about my work. Um, so, background on me, I am kind of a computer scientist and a technology person. I studied computer science at Yale University. And then I did research in audio technologies at the MIT Media Lab. And so my background has always been in kind of audio and technology and computer science. And I am now building captioning glasses, which look like this. But before I tell you about that, I want to back up a little bit. I was born in India originally, and I moved to the Bay Area when I was a kid, and I've always lived between the two countries. But when I was in high school, I actually had a friend who had hearing loss, and he dropped out of high school because my high school didn't really give accommodations for people with hearing loss. And my friend, who wore hearing aids and his family had spent a lot on hearing aids, he really struggled to understand conversations, even while he was wearing his hearing aids, because it didn't work well in noisy environments or when there were multiple people speaking or there was a lot of background echoes. And he had a really difficult time understanding what his friends or teachers were saying. And so my friend ended up dropping out of high school and preferred to be homeschooled. And at that point, I thought to myself, when I saw my friend didn't come to school again, I thought to myself, huh, there's got to be some better solution. And this was almost 8 years ago, maybe even 9 years ago. And I thought, it's 2017. There's got to be some sort of technology to help people with hearing loss understand speech better. So I asked him, he told me about, the hearing aids and how they didn't work well. And he told me that he had tried a bunch of these captioning apps on his phone. He had used something called Live Transcribe. And I asked him, I said, well, isn't that a good way of understanding what people are saying? And he said, no, it sucks because not only does my school not allow me to take a phone to school, which is um, one issue, but the biggest thing is that I'm constantly staring at a phone. I'm looking at the phone instead of looking at who's speaking to me. And I'm not able to read that person's lips. And I'm not able to see their facial expressions. If someone says, hey to me, all I see is Hey. I have no idea whether they said hey or whether they said hey. Those are two very different things, but I can't have that. And then I miss out on environmental awareness. I don't want to be staring at a phone when I'm crossing the street or I need my wits about me. So at that point, I kind of thought to myself, huh, what if we could have closed captions in your field of view, so you could see everyone that is speaking to you, but you could also understand what they're saying better. And that's how I kind of came up with the idea. It was really inspired by this experience that my friend had gone through. And I asked him, I said, what if you had subtitles, but for real life? And he said, I don't know how you'd even do that, but that sounds pretty cool. And so I started building this technology in my garage, as kind of just a project to help him. And that's how this whole thing started. So yeah, that's kind of the background. And what I'll do now is I'll just give you a brief, demonstration of this and show you how it kind of works. But yeah, these are called AirCaps. This is what I've been working on for several years now. And AirCaps is a pair of glasses that looks like a normal pair of spectacles. It is extremely lightweight. So it weighs less than 50 grams, which is not noticeable for most people. It doesn't look like anything weird is going on. You can't see anything that is weird, that's going on, but it is basically a pair of glasses that subtitles conversations and displays them to you floating in your field of vision. And so it's like captions, but for real life. Um, so yeah, that's the technology. I'll kind of show you how it works rather than talking about it. Um, so I don't, is my video going to be showing on a screen that everyone can look at? Okay. Okay, so can you see this screen, Laura?
Yes.
Okay, and is everyone able to see this?
Yeah. Are you able to make it bigger?
This is, I think we're at full screen now. Okay, so this is full screen, but what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you what it would look like if you were to be wearing these glasses. So this is just a normal camera. That's me. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make you wear these glasses. So you're going to wear these glasses and you're going to see what you would be seeing if you were wearing them. So, and now you'll see there's some small green text, but don't worry, it'll get bigger. There you go. Okay. So now you can kind of see I am going to start speaking, and you are seeing everything I'm saying as subtitles in your field of view. And you are seeing that they are pretty accurate. It's pretty much real time. There's very little delay between when I'm saying something and when you're seeing it on the screen. And it's not like I'll talk and then you'll see what I'm saying later. It's real time. There's a gap of less than 200 milliseconds between the words that I'm speaking and when you're seeing it on the screen. So far, it hasn't missed a single word that I've been saying, and it's captioning everything extremely accurately. And I could even speak pretty softly, so I might have a soft voice. Okay, so I'm speaking pretty softly right now, and you probably can't hear what I'm saying, but it's still picking up everything that I'm saying. So that's how it would work when someone is speaking softly. And then the captions can even identify when different people are speaking. So, Laura, I'll have you demonstrate this maybe. Could you say something?
Yeah. So are you able to make the captions bigger?
Yes, we can make it even bigger. So you can change the font size. So this is the smallest font size, and you can fit more text in it. And then you can increase the font size as well. And this is now the maximum font size. And obviously this is you're looking at it on a screen, but in real life it would be much, much bigger. That's the size of my face. Um, so you saw that when Laura spoke, it actually differentiated between us. Do you want to maybe cut in while I'm speaking to see what happens?
Yeah. So I'm curious, can you also change the color of the font?
So right now the color is only green, but you can change where it is placed. But I just want to show you that when I spoke, it was number one, and when Laura spoke, it was number two. So this is actually identifying different people speaking. So if you're in a group conversation, you'll be able to attribute certain speech to different people, and you'll be able to tell who is saying what. This it also is fully multilingual, so you could understand people in different languages. So I'm speaking in English right now, pero yo hablo poco de español también, and you're seeing that it immediately translated that in Spanish. Et oui, je parle un peu de français, tu comprends? And I spoke just in French a little bit, and it showed that as well. Now I'm speaking in English. So this can do over 62 different languages in real time. And you could even translate any language to your language. So let's say that I only spoke English. So I'm going to be speaking in English now. And now I'm going to switch to speaking in Hindi, but you will see everything that I'm saying in Hindi in English. तो अब मैं आपसे हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ और जो भी मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ वो आपको अंग्रेजी में दिखाई दे रहा है चश्मे पर. Um, y también yo hablo poco de español. Et oui, je parle un peu de français et tu comprends dans la lunette. So you can speak any language and you'll see the subtitles in your field of view on the glasses. Now, a common question people ask is how well does it actually work in noisy environments? And to show you that, I'm going to simulate a noisy environment. So I have here a YouTube video playing a busy coffee shop background noise. Um, and I'm gonna play this. And Laura, if the noise is coming through, could you give me a thumbs up? Was the noise coming through? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I am maxing out the background noise, and this is really noisy right now. And this is if I was in a noisy restaurant with this dishes clanking and people talking. And so this is extremely loud, but you're seeing that the captions are still capturing every single thing I'm saying. And in fact, I could speak even softer. So now I'm speaking a bit softer, and without any ordinary human emotion during what I'm saying. Like this really softly and very softly. And this is like a really noisy room. It's still picking up every single thing that each day and every single time. So that was an example of what it would be like in a very noisy restaurant, and we have kind of advanced noise reduction algorithms to help you. Um, yeah, and that's kind of a demonstration of how this works. I can show you how you can change the positions. So I stopped it, but you can change the width of each line. So I could have shorter lines. I could have it in different places. So I could have it up top. I could have it at the bottom on my chest. I could have it near my lips. I could have it on the right side if I wanted, or the left side. So you can change and customize the layout of the display. Um, you can change the brightness. So this is now at really high brightness. This is at lower brightness. And the best part is this works without internet as well. So you can use it online when you have a good internet connection, but you could also use it without an internet connection, and it doesn't need to connect to Wi-Fi. It does connect to your phone via Bluetooth. Um, so this is the phone, and the captions will show on the phone as well. So when I'm speaking, the captions are showing up on the glasses, but they're also showing up on the phone. So I could always refer to the transcript on the phone. And that's a Bluetooth connection. And then it does, of course, support prescription. So you can put in whatever prescription you want into the glasses. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Um, but you can put whatever prescription you want. So if you have progressive lenses or bifocals or any prescription, you can kind of fit them in and they'll just snap in to these glasses. So you don't have to we don't have to custom manufacture the glasses for you. We give you the same frame, and then prescription lenses are just like lens holders that you would just snap into there. Um, but yeah, that's a demonstration, and happy to open it up to questions.
Okay, well, I personally have a lot of questions, but I will let people, if you have questions, I'll start with maybe one. I get migraines. And so I'm a little concerned about having have you thought about that at all? About having the words on the screen and what that's going to do as far as the optical vision right there?
Yeah, so we have thought about this, of course, and the text is not actually projected right there. you actually it would be impossible for you to focus if the text was so close to you. So we use the same technology that a projector does, in which we throw out the text really far away from you. And so we project out the display at what's called optical infinity. So when you're looking at the display, it's as if your eyes are super relaxed and looking at a mountain far away in the distance because it's actually projected really, really far away. And yeah, that makes it very comfortable to view and doesn't lead to any sort of nausea or discomfort. In fact, it's more comfortable to view than a phone screen if you were reading a phone close to you. And yeah, we've been doing this for 8 years and have trialed it with over 500 people across 50 different countries. And we now have thousands of users across the globe that have been using this. So yeah.
And as far as the bifocals go, so where do the captions live? Are they going to live within the bifocal frame, within that?
Yeah, so you would take your bifocals and you would just attach it here as like a snap-on prescription. And then the actual display still lives within the main glasses.
I personally have seen several other frames like this out there on the market. And I just want to know, I haven't cost them out, but I want to know what makes your frame good for people with hearing loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of kind of AR glasses and smart glasses are very general purpose. So, for example, the Meta ones, they're targeting kind of everyone who wants to use maybe Instagram or Facebook on their glasses, or they want it for navigation, or they want it to take phone calls. We are focused very specifically on this one use case of captioning conversations and doing it specifically for deaf and hard of hearing people. So we have a very narrow focus, but we do much better than anyone else does for that specific focus because that's all that we do. So we really care about the captions being extremely accurate. We have spent ages making our speech recognition accuracy extremely high. So most people will be able to get you 90% accuracy, but 90% is not good enough. If you're missing one out of every 10 words, you're not able to follow the conversation. And that's what we realized early on. So we go for 97, 98% accuracy. In fact, when I was speaking, you probably didn't see a single word that it messed up in, 3, 4 minutes. Another thing we're really focused on is being able to work in several different environments very reliably. Our goal is that you just put it on and it works and it's not finicky. There's no issues with Bluetooth. There's no issues with it stopping randomly. And you can take it to a noisy cafe. You can take it to a noisy restaurant where maybe even your hearing aids don't work, and maybe even other glasses and other frames will start being more inaccurate. But ours just keeps working and is still very accurate and still very fast. So we focus on accuracy, we focus on the speed. We know that we can't give captions slowly because then you will fall behind the conversation. And then we focus on it working in really noisy environments. It works with internet and without internet connection. So you can use it in a movie theater. And so, yeah, just being very specific and narrow about what we're focusing on. That's our biggest differentiator.
Yeah, that's one thing I saw on your website was a video of a woman who honestly it sold me on these because I think she was in her 80s and she said that she used them to go to live performances and live theater. And for the last 9+ years, I haven't been able to do that. And that is a big seller for people with hearing loss. Because when you go to something and they have like live captions, usually it's off to the side of the stage, and you're married to staring at that live captions, and then you miss all the activity on the stage. So that's really incredible. And
Yeah, we've actually
so,
had several users who take this to watch Broadway shows or even movies, and they have told us that they haven't been to the theater in 10, 15 years because their hearing has gotten worse. And then they go to the theater and they're just delighted. And that's a very powerful motivation for also like why we do this is it's helping real people.
yeah. Well, I'm dominating here. I want to make sure that we open it up to the room, and I'll just repeat your question so he can hear you, Jack.
Battery life, particularly in cold weather climates like Minneapolis, and how long does it last?
Battery life, particularly in cold weather climates like Minneapolis. How long
Yeah.
does it last?
Yeah, so I'll just show you something in a minute, which I'll get. But so this is we have 4 to 8 hours of mixed usage battery life, which means that if you're not using it continuously, you're kind of turning it on and off. It'll last anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, depending on how bright the display is. If you are continuously using it and you're just running captioning 24/7 and you have it at like high brightness, then the continuous usage is anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. But we do have two things. One is we have a charging case. So we have a case in which you can carry the glasses, and if you just put it inside the case, it charges the glasses automatically, which is really cool. And the second thing we have is these things called power capsules, which are just hot swappable batteries that you can just snap onto the glasses while you're wearing them. And you can charge those up while you're wearing them, so you don't even have to take them off to charge. And with those, you can get anywhere from 12 to 18 hours of continuous usage if you just snap on additional batteries and take them off. And I'll just show them to you if you give me a second.
Okay.
Or two cost-related questions.
Okay.
In addition to the initial purchase, is there any ongoing subscription or maintenance costs related after you purchase? And secondly, is there any way to defer costs or reduce costs through insurance or anything like
Okay.
that?
It looks like he has kind of left to get the charger thing to show us, so I'll have
Yeah.
to do those.
So here's the charging batteries. So you can see there's two batteries in there.
All
And
right.
and they're in this little case. And so this little case charges those batteries. And then you can take any of these batteries and they're just magnetic. And then you can go in and you can just snap them on. Boom. Now it's snapped on and this is charging the glasses. So now you've got an extra battery that's charging the glasses. And you have two of these and you can just hot swap them whenever they want. So if this one runs out, I just take it from here, put it back into here, take out the other one, put that in, and then snap it on back there as well. So this will give you like, multiple days of battery life.
Okay. Do you have to have both of them on to charge it or just one?
Just one.
Okay. So we did have some questions here in the room when you left us. They were about, do you have to have a subscription or anything to keep the glasses running? No. And
No.
as far as cost goes, can the cost be picked up by insurance?
So no, right now insurance does not cover this, but we do support HSA and FSA. So you can purchase this with your HSA or FSA pre-tax health savings dollars. But yeah, the cost is like 1/10 or 1/5 of what hearing aids cost. So this is, $600. So it's like an order of magnitude lower than the hearing aids. And a lot of companies require you to pay subscriptions. We don't. We do offer an upgrade for a subscription where you can pay $20 a month and get many more advanced features, but all the basic functionality, including the closed captioning and multiple languages and translation, is free forever, and you get unlimited usage without having to pay any subscription.
Okay. Mark.
It's a new product, but do they have any idea how long you can expect one pair of glasses to last? Do they go 5 or 10 years?
Do you have any idea how long one pair of glasses would last?
Yeah, we've run kind of tests on cycling through the product, and you should expect it to last similar to kind of how long people have iPhones or phones and then would upgrade to the next phone. So it's more like you can use it for 5 years if you want, but there'll probably be a better model out there that's faster and, is just snappier and has other things. You can use it for a year or two and upgrade it whenever you want, but it should work for however long you want it, 3 to 5 years. But obviously, this technology is always developing, just like you have the iPhone 15 and then the 16 and the 17. So, yeah.
What about tech support?
Yeah, we have a dedicated customer support team. We actually, I was so I was I'm the as the founder and CEO. I was originally doing all the customer support myself, uh, because we had a pretty small team. We were a startup, and I wanted to also learn what user feedback was and just see what people are saying. But then as this started getting very popular, we had a lot of people who really wanted this, and so we had to hire a dedicated customer support team. So. We respond within 24 hours, Monday to Friday during business hours. We have a 24/7 live virtual chat. We have phone calls, we have emails, we have in-app help sections, we have YouTube videos showing you how to use different parts, we have manuals. So yeah.
I have a question. You kind of talked about it, but how does the physical nature of it, do you put the lenses, your prescription lenses within the frames?
Yeah, I can try and see if I have something to show you, but actually it might be easier if I show you a video so everyone can see it. Um, it's pretty simple. So I'll just go to our website, um, and I'll show you a video of so this is what the prescription lens holders look like. And that you would put your prescription in there, and then you would just go and boom, snap it into there. That's it. And
So
so
my question is, would I need to have a second set of lenses then, that I'm popping in and out as
You don't
when,
have to pop in and out. You can just keep them in. So what we would send you is we would send you the glasses and then we would send you these frames and you would go to any optician just like you normally would for spectacles and you would get your optician to fit in your prescription into these frames and then you can just pop them into the glasses and keep them there forever. Or whenever you want to change your prescription, you can change them out.
yeah, so you would just, I guess my question is if that would just be, I would always be wearing those transcribe glasses. And so if I wanted to wear a different frame, I would have to have a whole nother frame with whole other glasses.
Yeah, the technology is built in within the glasses, so you can't use a
Yeah,
different pair of glasses. Yeah.
right. That's kind of what I do as it is, because these are my computer lenses. So
Yeah.
anyway, I want to make sure we're getting to everyone here in the room. Do we have any more questions in the room? Vicky?
Wouldn't that be kind of heavy with two sets of lenses in there?
She was wondering if it would be kind of heavy with two sets of lenses, but aren't you replacing the lens with your prescription lens?
Yeah, so the prescription lenses don't add too much weight. The frame itself is like minimal, like you won't even notice it. And then the set of the lenses would depend on what material your optician uses. But yeah, we have people who've, used prescription even with like very high prescription powers and like bifocals and progressives, and it's not much of a difference. And the weight is distributed quite evenly, so you don't really notice it.
As far as the languages go, I can't remember. Did you say how many languages were supported?
We support 62 languages, so I doubt I don't think we've had a single user who's used this and found that any language that they speak has not been supported.
Okay. And when you popped up your website, I think I saw a feature there that we haven't talked about as far as meeting recording. And it looked like, and I was seeing this in other classes that I was looking at too that offer this, where you can record meetings. And how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so you can, if you want to, and of course, if you get the consent of the people that you are recording, you can save the transcripts of conversations or meetings, and you can always review them later. So for example, if I go to a doctor's office or a doctor's appointment, and they're saying something about the medication I should take, I can, be using my glasses, and then I can just press a button in the app to say save this meeting, and it'll record everything that was said, and I can always go back and visit it, and I can even ask it questions. So we have an AI that you can ask questions saying, hey, what did my doctor say? What prescription did I have to take? Or you can just view the entire transcript of what the doctor said. So a lot of people find it very useful to remember things or to note down things or to, just supplement their memory of past interactions that are important.
Aggie?
Would it be more convenient to have separate lenses and then your regular glasses? So that you're carrying your separate lenses along with the glasses and then having your own regular glasses. If you have two pair of glasses.
Right. I think that's kind of what I had decided that I would personally need to have the transcribed glasses. And then she was asking, would it be more convenient to have the transcribed glasses and then a second pair that's just your regular glasses? Because you may not want to have that tech all the time.
Yeah, you can turn off the tech whenever you don't want it. So
Right.
when you turn it off, the display disappears and it's just a normal pair of glasses. And then if you have your prescription in there, you can read and do whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, some people have different glasses that they swap in, but most people just use it as their primary pair of eyeglasses.
Right. And you said the weight of the frames are,
It's less than 50 grams, so it's 49 grams, and it's very lightweight. And the weight on your nose is also very little, and it's evenly distributed. So we have users that have worn this for 10 to 11 hours a day and have not had issues with the weight.
okay. Any more questions? Um, do you have plans to expand the business in other forms of technology beyond just the glasses?
As of now, we're just focusing on the glasses.
Okay.
In terms of the expansion of the technology, where always, focusing on making sure we're doing things like noise reduction, being able to, we have a feature where you can, this is a new feature that we added, a feature where you can ignore certain people and only focus on desired speech. So we had a lot of users who told us, oh, when I'm sitting at a restaurant, sometimes there's someone sitting next to me that I don't want to hear what they're saying, but it's showing me the captions. So we've then developed advanced technology where you can focus on only those in front of you and ignore certain speech. We can now ignore your own speech. You can only focus on, oh, I'm going to dinner with my friends. I only want to focus on my friends. So yeah, in that sense, we're always developing our kind of audio and speech recognition technology.
Good. Yes.
What about cleaning them?
What about cleaning them?
You clean them the same way you clean a normal pair of glasses. Just take a microfiber and you can, yeah, it's nothing special. Just don't get them wet.
And just a polishing cloth, you don't have to worry about getting them wet or anything like that.
Yeah, I would not. So yeah, the glasses are waterproof to some extent, but you should not get them wet. You should treat them the same way you would treat your phone. It's like you can clean your phone screen, right, and do this, and put maybe a little dab of cleaning solution, but you wouldn't put this underwater. So
Right. Ron,
What type of warranty do you have?
would you say warranty?
Warranty.
Yeah.
yeah, we have a 1 year standard warranty.
You have a 1 year standard warranty, and can you extend that kind of the way I'm an Apple user? Can you extend it the way you extend Apple Care?
Not yet. We're not at the level of Apple yet, but hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully one day we'll get there.
yeah, sorry. And any more questions in the room? Mark, did you have to? No.
What about driving? I don't assume you use them when you're driving and, you have a passenger talking to you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. What about driving with them on? If you're driving and your passengers are speaking, it could be distracting.
Yeah, we don't officially recommend using them while driving. I think, users should take care of their safety first, but we have had users who find it comfortable and are able to use it while driving, and in fact use it while driving to understand what passengers in the car are saying. But officially, our recommendation is to prioritize safety.
Sure. And so you started developing this product when you were at Yale?
Even before that, when I was in high school, actually, I started working on this when I was like 17 years old when I was in high school. Yeah.
Hmm, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions in the room? I think we'll kind of wrap this up. We've taken enough of your time, but I will direct people to your website and anything else? Anything else you wanted to mention, Madhav?
No, thank you very much for inviting me to speak. I appreciate the opportunity, and yeah, the questions were great. And yeah, I'm happy to answer questions as well. You can share my email with folks if they have questions for me. But yeah, it was great speaking with you all, and